You are listening to Words with a Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am.
I like storytelling. Or you didn't perform the way you thought you should have performed, and now you're starting to second guess yourself.
I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am.
What's going on inside your heart? Let's look at it from this perspective, the Mad Coach. I am Coach Sess.
You are listening to Words with a Mad Coach.
Mad World, welcome. Thank you for joining me on this quick, brief journey as I discuss Fight for It number 12. And in particular, I'm talking about one matchup, and that is a matchup between Duece Carter and Devin Nguyen. Let's check this out. Duece Carter has been kickboxing with Fight for It, and he's 4-0. Devin Nguyen is a Fight Lab veteran. He's a former champion, a contender. He's a staple of the Fight Lab community. I'm here to give you my honest impression of how this fight goes. When I look at this fight, I see Duece Carter taking on people that he's better than. I see Devin Nguyen facing people that present a challenge. And you know how the fight game works. The guys who face tough competition as they make their way to the top, eventually those are the guys who become champion. And Devin has been Warfare champion, Fight Lab champion, contender. He's fought for the titles. Again, I like the strength of schedule. Duece has been fighting. Devin's been off since 2019. And I have to look at this fight like George St. Pierre coming back to fight Bisping. Normally, you want to go with Bisping because he's been active. He fought the guys that were the guys who stood next to the guys who had the belt. But in this particular case, Devin Nguyen is St. Pierre. I'm looking at him to go in and win this fight. And all I can do is kind of give you my logic here is Duece Carter, even though he's training with a Road Combat Club with Johnny Buck, Phil Kratz, good people, talented. Phil Kratz looked great in his last fight. But what I don't see in his fights is that finishing ability. He hasn't really shown it. And when I say finishing ability, you got to show me that against someone who's trying to finish you. If you can finish someone who has the ability to finish you, I think differently about your finishing power. So just because you can stop a few people, his last fight with at Fight for It 11, the guy was a moving heavy bag. And Carter did what he's supposed to do and just walk through him. The guy was making his debut. That was Duce's fourth fight. You're supposed to walk through guys like that. And that kid spent more time on his back foot, posted up against the cage, couldn't move forward. Duece did what he needed to do. Devin, on the other hand, is not going to be anybody's moving heavy bag. And one of the things about Devin is Devin has fought people as fast as Duece Carter. He fought my teammate, Jordanis Edwards. Jordanis is plenty fast. And Devin has seen that kind of talent in front of him. That's not going to throw Devin off against Duece. But Duece hasn't seen people as fast as himself. Devin also fought Kim A, who is not only fast, but has a lot of pop and power. I don't think Duece has fought anybody with that pop and power. Devin has. Devin is also coming from the MMA world, going into a kickboxing match against Duece. But Devin has fought kickboxing. But Devin is a finisher coming from MMA. I know everybody says, oh, come on, coach, it's MMA. You finish differently, da-da-da. Look here. A finisher is a finisher. That's what you got to understand. And Devin has that late power. He can go into the third round and beyond and finish someone. That is rare air. That is not something gifted to everyone. You have to know how to finish late if you're going to be a champion in any combat sport. And Devin has that. And that is why I'm giving him the edge in this particular fight. Not only that, because he's with Team Jimmo. Team Jimmo had an even split the last show. I think 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. when you are dealing with a championship caliber team like that, that type of result does not sit well with them. And I think that they're bringing out some heavy guns for this show, and they are looking to get back some wins. There's no particular person at fault. There's no one particular gym that they're after. They're going to dominate Fight for It, number 12. That's what they're after. They're after the promotion. They are coming to take over because they pulled out some heavy guns. And when you pull out Devin Nguyen, man, we're talking about some of the strongest artillery you can think of in that particular weight class in the Carolinas. So look for Devin Nguyen to take that spot because he's defending the honor of his team, his teammates, his gym. A gym that puts fighters in the UFC. A gym that produces champions in other combat sports, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and a gym that takes on the best competition around. They fight all the other good gyms who put people in the UFC as well. So I have to give it to Nguyen. And here's the thing. Duece, prove me wrong. Because you look so impressive the last fight. It's okay. Everyone knows I like to be proved wrong. Because that only means the level has been raised in the area. It only means that we've got another breakout star. But for right now, I've got to give it to the veteran of the game, and that's Devin Nguyen. He's going to come out. He's got his opponents have better combined records. He's got more fights. He's got a really great support unit behind him, and he's got something to prove. I think that Rogue Combat Club has very specific fighters right now, and they're going to grow. They're going to grow. You can't look at a team like this and put a cap on them and bottleneck them and say they can only do this. They're going to grow. They had 2 impressive wins going undefeated the last show. So in a sense, they're on a roll. And that puts pressure back on Team Jimbo. That puts pressure back on Devin to represent. So you might see Devin play safe. But Duece, you got to go forward. You've got to go forward. Devin is not the kind of guy that's going to back up and run from you. Devin is the kind of guy who's going to stand his ground or come forward or hit an angle. If you hit and run, Devin, again, who is just as fast as you, is going to make an impression with the judges. He's going to score. And they're going to give it to him just on appearance. If you have 2 fast guys and one's hitting, running, and one's moving forward, landing shots, what do you think is going to happen? And that's how I see the fight going if I look at recent patterns of the way Duece has been fighting. If I look at recent patterns, that's what Devin's going to do. And I know Duece is more dominant in the kickboxing area, but there's one area that Devin has an equalization, and that's in the clinch. You saw this with his teammate Dan Isaiah when he fought Gornell, working inside of that clinch, working inside that infighting range is a safe haven for mixed martial arts fighters when they fight pure strikers. The reason being is because we spend so much time there. And the clinch inside of MMA is so different than just trying to do Muay Thai because of the other things that we're trying to do. And that's going to give Devin an edge because I don't think Duece is going to see a lot of what Devin is doing, the little subtleties in what he's doing. This fight takes place December 18th, Gaffney, South Carolina. Look, go to the Fight For It page, check out the links, get your tickets. This is one of those fights you want to see live. It's been a while since I've seen Devin live, and I don't want to miss this one. I'm going to be there. I am Coach Sess, and you've had words with the Mad Coach.